Ethan Carter hadn't dated in 3 years. Not since the night his wife, Lily, passed away quietly in a hospital room that smelled like antiseptic and broken promises. Not since he'd come home holding back tears while 6-year-old Noah waited on the couch with a handmade, "Get well soon, Mommy" card. Life had narrowed itself down to routines after that. Wake up early, make breakfast, pack Noah's lunch, drop him at school, go to work, come home tired, help with homework, read bedtime stories, fall asleep on the couch. That was it. Christmas was supposed to be different. It was supposed to bring warmth back into cold homes and remind people that magic still existed. But for Ethan, Christmas only reminded him of what he'd lost. So when his sister, Rachel, called him one evening with an unusually cheerful voice, he already knew something was wrong. "You need to get out of the house," she said. "You've turned into a hermit." "I'm fine," Ethan replied, stirring soup on the stove while Noah colored at the kitchen table. "Some of us have responsibilities. Some of us also deserve happiness." Ethan sighed. "Rachel, I set you up on a blind date." The spoon slipped from his hand and clattered into the sink. "You did what?" "It's Christmas Eve, just dinner, 1 hour, you owe me." "No, absolutely not." "She's already agreed." "I did." Rachel didn't sound guilty at all. "Ethan, you can't spend the rest of your life hiding behind grief. Lily wouldn't want that." That hit harder than he expected. "She's kind," Rachel continued. "She volunteers at shelters. She loves kids, just meet her." Ethan looked over at Noah, who was now holding up a drawing of Santa riding a dinosaur. His heart softened. "Fine," he said quietly, 1 hour. That's how he found himself sitting alone at a small candle-lit table in a cozy downtown cafe on Christmas Eve, wearing the only decent sweater he owned, wondering how he'd let himself be manipulated so easily. The place glowed with fairy lights and soft jazz music. Couples laughed, hands were held. Snow fell gently outside. He felt completely out of place. She was 15 minutes late. 20. He checked his phone twice, resisting the urge to leave. Then the door opened. She walked in wearing a simple cream coat, her dark hair loosely tied back, snowflakes melting in her lashes. She looked around nervously before spotting Ethan. Their eyes met. She hesitated, then walked over slowly. "Ethan?" she asked. He stood. "Yes, you must be." "Maya." Her voice was soft, almost fragile. They shook hands awkwardly before sitting. She avoided eye contact at first, folding her napkin carefully, as if buying time. "I'm sorry I'm late," she said. "Bus issues." "It's okay." Silence stretched between them. Ethan was already regretting this. Then Maya looked up, really looked at him, and something in her expression shifted. "You have kind eyes," she said suddenly. He blinked. Thanks." She smiled faintly. They ordered coffee, talked about work, about favorite Christmas movies. Maya taught art classes at a community center. Ethan worked in it. It was polite, safe. Not magical. He kept checking the time. Halfway through the date, Maya excused herself to the restroom. She didn't come back for several minutes. Ethan was about to ask the waiter if everything was okay when she returned, eyes red, cheeks flushed. "Are you all right?" he asked. She nodded too quickly. "Yes, just allergies." He didn't believe her. They finished dinner quietly. Ethan paid, insisting despite her protests. Outside, the cold bit through his coat. Snow crunched under their feet. "Well," he said awkwardly, "thank you for coming." Maya stood still. "Ethan," she said, voice trembling slightly, "before you go, I need to tell you something." His stomach tightened. She took a breath. "I didn't come here tonight because I wanted to." He stiffened. "Rachel, I was told this was a charity dinner." Maya continued. They said I'd be helping raise funds for struggling families. I only realized it was a blind date when I arrived. Ethan let out a slow breath. Figures. But I stayed, she said softly, because I saw you sitting alone and you looked like someone who carries a lot. He didn't know how to respond. Maya reached into her bag and pulled out a small envelope. This is why I really came. She handed it to him. Inside was a folded piece of paper. Ethan opened it. It was a child's drawing. A little boy holding hands with a stick-figure man under a Christmas tree. At the top were shaky letters. Thank you for helping my daddy. Ethan frowned. Maya swallowed. I volunteer at a family shelter, she said. Last week a man came in with his son. They'd been living in their car after his wife passed away. He was behind on rent, working 2 jobs, still losing. Ethan felt his throat tighten. He reminded me of you, she continued. Quiet, exhausted, trying so hard not to break. Ethan couldn't speak. So we started a fundraiser, small donations, gift cards, emergency rent support. She reached back into her bag and pulled out another envelope. This is yours. He shook his head. No. Please, she whispered, open it. Inside was a cashier's check. $5,000. Ethan stared at it, confused. I asked Rachel about you, Maya said. About Noah, about Lily. I knew tonight wasn't really about romance. His chest burned. You don't have to be strong all the time, Maya said. Sometimes strangers carry the weight together. His vision blurred. I lost my husband 2 years ago, she added quietly. I know what it feels like to wake up every day pretending you're okay. That was when Ethan broke. He turned away, pressing his fist to his mouth, shoulders shaking. Tears spilled freely in the cold December air. He hadn't cried in front of anyone since Lily's funeral. Maya stepped closer and gently placed a hand on his arm. It's okay, she whispered. Let it out. He tried to apologize. He couldn't. All the nights he'd sat alone after Noah fell asleep. All the bills, the loneliness, the quiet grief. It poured out of him. People passed by, wrapped in scarves and laughter, unaware that a grown man was rediscovering how to breathe beside a woman he'd met an hour ago. When he finally composed himself, his cheeks were wet, his voice raw. Thank you, he said hoarsely. Maya smiled through her own tears. Rachel told me you needed a reminder that kindness still exists. He laughed weakly. She tricked us both. Yes, Maya agreed. But maybe sometimes being tricked leads you exactly where you're meant to be. They stood there longer than necessary, snow settling quietly around them. I don't know what this is, Ethan said softly. Maya shrugged. Maybe it's just 2 broken people choosing not to be alone on Christmas. He looked at her, really looked at her. Would you like to meet my son sometime? He asked. Her eyes brightened. I'd love that. That Christmas, Ethan tucked Noah into bed with a lighter heart. He placed the check carefully in a drawer, but he kept the drawing on his nightstand. And for the first time in years, he felt something he thought he'd lost forever. Hope.